Number 1. Kraken. Maritime myths abound with stories of fearsome sea serpents and mere creatures, yet none have terrified sailors as much as the formidable Kraken. Its roots can be traced to a massive fish known as the Hafgufa in Norse mythology. The Kraken emerged in popular myth as an enormous octopus or squid, sighted by fishermen in the waters off Norway and Greenland. In the 18th century, Bishop Erik Pontoppidan portrayed it as a colossal squid-like entity, so large that its body parts appeared as islands when breaching the surface. The Kraken was said to use its numerous tentacles to capture ships and pull them into the cold abyss, and it was also believed to be capable of creating lethal whirlpools by diving back into the sea. While the stories of the Kraken's fury may be exaggerated, the beast itself isn't purely a product of imagination. The legend likely stems from real encounters with giant squids, and some scientists suggest that ancient seas harbored enormous cephalopods over 100 feet long that preyed on whale-sized ichthyosaurs. Number 2. Griffin. Combining features of two formidable animals, the griffin was believed to have the body and hind legs of a lion paired with the wings, beak, and talons of an eagle or hawk. Originating possibly in the Middle East, the concept of these aerial giants soon became entrenched in ancient Greek lore. By the 14th century, the griffin was featured in the largely imaginative travel accounts of Sir John Mandeville, who claimed these creatures were stronger than 8 lions and 100 eagles combined. Celebrated for their intelligence and lifelong loyalty to a single mate, griffins were also feared for their brutality. They were said to tear apart their prey with sharp talons and carry their quarry aloft, only to drop them from great heights to their doom. Researcher Adrian Mayer has suggested that the griffin myth may have evolved from early human encounters with dinosaur remains. Nomads in Central Asia, such as the Scythians, could have found the bones of dinosaurs like the Protoceratops and interpreted them as evidence of a bird-like monster, thus giving rise to the legend of this fearsome airborne creature. Number 3. Manticore. Among the most fearsome of mythical beings, the Manticore was a ferocious creature said to combine the head of a blue-eyed man, the reddish body of a lion, and the venomous tail of a scorpion. This terrifying amalgam first appeared in the writings of Greek authors like Ctesias, who documented it in his accounts of India. These accounts describe the Manticore as possessing 3 rows of shark-like teeth and a voice that produced a melodious sound akin to a trumpet's call. Notoriously known for its voracious appetite for humans, the Manticore would reportedly use its swift speed to pursue its victims, attacking them with its claws or its lethal tail and consuming them entirely, bones included. Ctesias even claimed that the Manticore could paralyze or kill from a distance by shooting stingers from its tail as if launching arrows from a bow. Number 4. Basilisk. Tales of the deadly basilisk go back to Pliny the Elder, a 1st century Roman author whose Natural History catalogued various mythical beings and bizarre humanoid tribes. Initially, Pliny portrayed the basilisk as a serpentine creature with a crown-like pattern on its head. By the medieval period, however, it had evolved into a monstrous serpent with a rooster's head and either dragon or bat wings. Known for its lethal bite and toxic breath, the basilisk was also feared for its ability to kill with just a glance. To combat this, hunters would use mirrors, hoping the basilisk would see its own reflection and die. They also employed weasels, thought to be resistant to the basilisk's venom. The legend of the basilisk is believed to have originated in North Africa, though stories of its presence in Europe persisted throughout the Middle Ages. One notably questionable tale from 1587 in Poland recounts how a man, wearing a suit covered in mirrors, managed to capture a basilisk that had slain 2 young girls and their nursemaid. Number 5. Blemmyae. Ancient and medieval explorers often shared tales of bizarre monsters and mythical beings upon returning to Europe, including stories of so-called wild men from uncharted regions of Asia and Africa. Among the most peculiar were the Blemmyae, a tribe of hairy primitives without heads, their faces located in their chests. They were first mentioned by Herodotus in the Histories as headless men from North Africa with eyes on their chests. Later mentions of the Blemmyae, or similar creatures, appear in the writings of Pliny the Elder, the explorations of Sir Walter Raleigh, and even in Shakespeare's play Othello. Their strange appearance captivated and repelled Europeans, making them a frequent subject in folklore and art before the Enlightenment. Other notable wild men included the Cyopodes, who possessed a single large-footed leg used as a sunshade, the flesh-eating anthropophagi, and the cynocephali, beings with human bodies and canine heads. Number 6. Roc. The roc, a colossal bird of prey, is a myth that fascinated travelers and traders with tales of its immense strength, reputedly capable of lifting elephants off the ground. Originating from Arabic fairy tales and myths, stories of this massive bird reached Western audiences through accounts from explorers like Marco Polo. Polo described how the roc would carry its prey to great heights before dropping them to their deaths and feasting on the remains. The Moroccan explorer Ibn Battuta once mistook a roc for a floating mountain due to its enormous size, and other tales mentioned that its wingspan, often said to be around 50 feet, could obscure the sun. Some researchers believe the myth of the roc could have been influenced by historical encounters with elephant birds, large, flightless birds that lived in Madagascar until around the 17th century.